Our communication skills is probably one of the most important things to develop throughout our lives. Your ability or inability to effectively communicate will have a direct impact on the relationships that you have. Whether it be at home, at work, in school, in sports, with a parent, wife, husband, teacher, mentor, manager, all the areas that we all face in life, the relationships or the strength of the relationships that we have depends on the communication. And so in today's video, I want to talk about the book of Esther, because Esther's a woman who grew up as a Jew in Persia, and her cousin Mordecai basically tells her to keep her identity of being a Jew a secret. Ultimately, King Xerxes, who's the king of Persia, chooses Esther to be his queen. And, over time, King Xerxes' advisor, Haman, comes up with this plan to basically execute all of the Jews. And so obviously Esther's faced with a major problem. And so the point that I want to make is that there's going to be a number of things in our lives that we see as problems. We can't just close our eyes to those problems. We need to address those problems. But we need to address them the right way, respectfully and with the facts. You can't just come and start an argument not having any strategy, because then it's just going to turn into a pissing match. But if you come respectfully to somebody and address them the right way, like how Esther did in this book, then it can be done effectively and not kill the relationship, and you can move on from there. And so what happens here is that Esther's obviously deciding, should I tell this guy? Is my life on the line? Is my family's life on the line? Is this really going to go through? And so over time, she starts addressing this. And in Esther chapter 7, verse 4, the way that she addresses it is by saying, "For we have been sold, and I, my people, to be destroyed, to be killed, and to be annihilated." And basically what happens is that the king ends up executing his advisor. It's obviously a lot different of a situation that we face in life. It's not necessarily going to be life or death, but there is right and wrong. And things do need to be addressed the right way. It's something that my dad taught my brother and I at a very young age. And an example that I have is when I was in high school. Again, 15 years old, my high school coach and I were going back and forth, basically because there were times where coaches were coming to see me and I wasn't getting called in. And so obviously 15 years old, addressing a grown man is not something I felt very comfortable doing. So I spoke it over with my dad, how should I approach this? What should I say? And we put together a plan. We had a strategy. And I went in and spoke with him a number of times. And we gave it like the 3-strike policy. After the 3rd strike, I basically made the decision that I needed to transfer in order to put myself in the best position possible to earn a Division I scholarship. And so it was more than 3 strikes. We had a number of conversations about what would need to happen, why this is happening, what his thoughts were, and just a lot of discourse back and forth, which ultimately led me to the decision to leave. But the point is that there's going to be times where we're uncomfortable with addressing somebody or addressing an issue that you may be facing. You should put together a plan, come to the table with facts, and address them respectfully. And if the conversation doesn't go how you like, it doesn't mean to make a decision right away. Don't make a rash decision, but lay out what the pros and cons are after that conversation. And then maybe it requires a follow-up conversation, and then another conversation after that. It's never just going to be a said and done thing after one time. I would probably recommend to have a few different conversations to try and get a full understanding of what the perspective is of that other person. And so that's what I wanted to share in this video, because again, it's something that as I've gotten older, it's still something that you're always going to feel uncomfortable addressing something that is against the idea, belief that somebody else has that may be in a higher position than you are. At the end of the day, what's right is right. Facts are facts. Bring them to the table. Address somebody respectfully, just like Esther did. And things may or may not go in your favor. And that's when you have to evaluate what your options are. So I hope you guys found value in today's video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with a friend. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate your time.